Yes, let me hear it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, project you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
Welcome to the greatest wrestling podcast of all time. I am Savage. That is DJ Storms, and we're just getting started here on episode number 4 of the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show, where we cover it all. We cover everything, okay? Everything. WWE, AEW. We're going to be watching TNA live tonight as well. I'll keep you updated as best as I can throughout the night. Jay might be here. We might have a dash of Jay, a spice of Jay. And I'm going to drop the link in the Busted Open Nation Facebook page. And I know there's 11,000 members. And I'm willing to bet 0 of you have the balls to come on this show and tell us what you have to say for 60 seconds tonight live. Professional wrestling entertainment here in front of your eyes. And DJ Storms, welcome back.
Oh my God, I am feeling it. I am pumped tonight. I got electricity flowing through my veins from my head all the way down to my toes. And by the way, if I am not mistaken, we are on the motherfucking air. He is the incomparable Greek Savage. I am DJ motherfucking Storms, and this is episode number 4 of the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show, the greatest professional wrestling show that you will see throughout your week. I am hyped, Mr. Savage. We have a lot of shit to talk about and a lot of good shit to look forward to with Forbidden Door. We got Money in the Bank coming up. We got Heat Wave. We got Blood and Guts, Death Before Dishonor, SummerSlam. The summer is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But as per usual, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, and I don't want to waste a second of anyone's time. Let's get right into it. Money in the Bank live Saturday, July 6th. Real quick, Storms, the women's Money in the Bank match. Who do you think? Why?
At this very moment, I'm kind of leaning towards Lyra Valkyria, but again, it all depends on who else they add. I would personally love to see Tiffany Stratton in there. I do believe she has a Money in the Bank qualifying match tomorrow night on SmackDown. So if we can get Tiffany Stratton in there. Everyone needs a dose of Tiffy time. Let's give Tiffany Stratton that women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Let's make her the star that we all know she can be.
TNA starting right now. I got it on. I'll be breaking it down for you. But to talk about what this man just said, I think I'm going to upset you a little bit. So let me bring you in a little closer so I can talk to you for a minute. Yeah? Now, what did you say? Who's going to win this match? Why don't you repeat yourself one more time?
I said Tiffany Stratton because she's a star.
Yeah, she is a star, but I got bad news for you. You know who else is a star and has been killing it? It's Chelsea Green. She beat Bianca Belair in a match, and you don't just do that kind of thing. Nobody just beats Bianca Belair. That is a big deal. You're underappreciating the value of that kind of win inside of a professional wrestling ring. Because see, the difference between you and I, sirs, the way I evaluate talent, it's on another level.
I think that you may be a little mistaken there because Chelsea Green sucks.
Unbelievable disrespect. Matt Cardona, I hope you are watching and come to kick his ass when he says it again, because you know he will. DJ Storms doesn't hold back, which is why he's on this show. Now we're going to talk about this match. I'm just going to come on and say it right away, just so you know who's winning this match. We all know who's winning this match, and it's Chad Gable. No questions asked.
Chad Gable, baby. I'm a Chad Gable guy. Listen, I would be okay with Andrade or Carmelo, but I think Gable, it's his time right now. If you really want to make a new star, Chad Gable is your fucking guy. It's going to be interesting to see who else they add, but thus far, I'm liking the layout for this men's Money in the Bank ladder match. This is probably the most unpredictable men's Money in the Bank ladder match that we've seen in a while, because we still have a couple more individuals to be added to this. I believe Santos Escobar could very well win his qualifying match tomorrow. And then we got Drew McIntyre. So there are a lot of different avenues that they could go. But I'm with you here, Savage. Chad Gable, he is my fucking guy here.
We're in agreement. Chad Gable's future is beyond bright. Guaranteed, in my opinion, for him to not only win this, but win many more things to come over the future. And the feud we're going to see develop right now between Chad Gable and, my God, I can't believe I'm going to even say Bo Dallas, with his brother literally by his side at all times for all we know. The Wyatt Six, he has protection. Gable's going to need his own stable, hence the Creed brothers. And who else knows who else they're going to have to add? Maybe a couple of more Olympians that are currently kicking ass on NXT, maybe a Damon Kemp. Maybe. You never know. You never know. And there's always someone else out there that's an Olympian, maybe Spencer Slade. Who knows? But it's getting hot. It's going to be a good storyline long term. I love the way they're taking their time. Right now, to update you on TNA. All right. Your women's champion, Jordan Grace, just came out here to basically talk about Ash by Elegance, who last week won her match, but she also knocked out the Knockout Women's Champion with her own title, and she was dancing and celebrating. So obviously, Jordan Grace wants some revenge. All they're saying is that there's going to be a match, all right? Ash by Elegance versus Jordan Grace at Slammiversary. What do you think about that, Storms?
Jordan Grace wins, hands down. I really don't know where this hype train from Ash by Elegance is coming from, but I'll tell you what, if Jay's here, he'd probably be drooling over Ash by Elegance because he keeps on saying that she's improved. I'm not seeing it. I don't know what he's seeing, but I am not seeing it. But I'm keeping it on Jordan Grace.
For Dana Brooke, I'll keep it short and sweet. She's an entertainer. And she's a veteran. She's been doing this a while now. She's run her reps, but she is like a fill-in character. She's a fill-in character. She's, they say transitional champions. She's just transitional talent. From one storyline to the other storyline, we'll use her when and if it's available and needed. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Jordan Grace will kill this woman.
She'll be lucky. Ash by Elegance will be lucky if she leaves that match in one piece.
But you're right about the Money in the Bank match. It is unpredictable because there are some heavy hitters in there, man. Like any of these guys winning, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, wouldn't shock me. Jey Uso winning wouldn't shock me. But I don't know how you don't just give it to Gable right now. I guess we'll all find out very soon at Money in the Bank. Now, this match, I'm going to let you get your take on this just right away. What do you think?
I'm liking this. I didn't think that they would do it this early. I thought that they were going to wait till SummerSlam. However, I do predict that this will extend to SummerSlam. I do not see Breakker winning this match. I think that Breakker's going to have a great performance. He's going to have a nice, solid, dominant showcase. But Sami Zayn, considering it's in his home country of Canada, I see Sami Zayn just squeaking out a victory. Just by that much. Just by an ounce, he's going to squeak out a victory, thus leading to Braun Breakker lobbying for a rematch, and you're going to crown Braun Breakker at SummerSlam in Cleveland Brown Stadium. That's how I see this playing out.
All right, TNA right now, Slamovich out here passing by Jordan Grace. It looks like they have some beef. By the way, you can watch TNA anytime, starting at only $9.99 a month, or if you have cable access, here's a little peek at what we're going to see tonight on TNA. All right, you have Nick Nemeth versus Rich Swann, qualifier for the road to Slammiversary. Steve Maclin taking on Sami Callihan. Mustafa Ali will have his State of the Union address. We'll keep you posted on all that and more. Alan Angels taking on Kushida. If I know Kushida, this is going to be a good match. Kushida never has a bad match. But right now, Masha Slamovich taking on a resident friend of the show, Zaya Brookside. I've worked alongside her. She is a sweetheart and a badass in the ring. Interesting matchup. We'll keep you posted on what happens as the match is about to start.
Zaya Brookside. She's got a lot of upside.
She's got a lot of spunk, okay? A lot of character. and a hell of a move set in the ring. Rich history, too. Father was a professional wrestler. Actually wrestled alongside Marty Jannetty. So just to give you an idea of the kind of talent. But Braun Breaker, to me, how does Braun Breaker not win this match? How do you explain it? How? Even if Sammy manages to win.
Much, Braun Breaker, listen, the reason why
I wasn't really asking you a question, but go ahead.
It's a typical arrogant heel story. Braun Breaker, he legit dominates the match. He gets way too overconfident, thus allowing Sami Zayn to squeak out a win. And you know what? It works because Braun Breaker is still, quote unquote, a rookie. He's only been doing this for like 3 years, 4 years.
Don't care. I don't buy it. Braun Breaker, to me, is a superstar, the stature of a Brock Lesnar right now. That is how he's being booked. That's how he's being pushed. The fans are actually starting to chant for him. It's an edgy sword right now. You're playing this edgy game where this guy's getting over, getting fans' attention. People are actually hopping along, barking throughout his matches. You want to keep these fans as fans. You don't want to take a chance of losing a small portion of these beginning people that are really attaching themselves to the Braun Breaker train, the Braun Breaker brand. If it's me, yes, this match should have happened at SummerSlam. But if it's happening right now, Braun needs to win and win convincingly. He needs to win convincingly. This needs to be a match that looks real, like one of those matches where it was Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston, who was the world champion. But we saw reality. Reality is Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him. Braun Breaker needs to beat the shit out of Sami Zayn.
He will, but he's not winning here. They're saving that for SummerSlam. You want to crown Braun Breaker on the biggest possible stage. You're not going to wait until WrestleMania because that's too far. So do it at the second biggest pay-per-view. The story is simple. Breaker, he's going to have a dominant performance, but he's going to get way too cocky, thus allowing Sami Zayn to just get that win, thus resulting in one more match at SummerSlam and in front of, right now, I believe it's 46,000 fans. Right now, 46,000. I believe they might get to 50. But at the end of the day, SummerSlam is the date. It's not going to happen at Money in the Bank, but it's going to take Braun Breaker to that next level, even in defeat.
By the way, guys, I put the link in the chat right now. It looks like Slamovich has full control on this matchup, taking it to Xia Brookside live on TNA. I am Savage. This is Storms, and we're talking about Money in the Bank, and we still have this match to talk about. And we saw so far a pretty good build-up and actually really good stipulations added to this match. So just straight to it, who do you think wins and why?
I'm going to go with Damian Priest for a couple reasons. First off, I do want to say that it was a very good idea to add the stipulation. If Rollins loses, he can't challenge for the title as long as Priest has it. But if Priest loses, then he leaves the Judgment Day. Very good stipulation. Adds a little bit more unpredictability to the match. But I'm going with Priest for a couple reasons. Number one, you're not going to take the title off of Priest this close to SummerSlam, especially after he has done very good work with that championship. Very good match with Jey Uso. Great main event with Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. And now he's going to get another shot at Seth Rollins. And they're going to tell that story of Damian Priest finally coming out of his shell, being able to do what he couldn't do last year, and that is beat Seth Rollins. You're not going to put the title on Rollins just to have him drop it to Gunther, because that's what's going to happen at SummerSlam. Gunther's going to win the championship. Priest has shown that he is worthy of that spot. He is ready for Gunther, and Damian Priest, even if he's only going to hold the title for 4 months, it is ultimately going to be a solid reign for him because it brought him up several notches. Ultimately, you don't want to make Seth Rollins a transitional champion because that doesn't make Seth Rollins look good and that doesn't make the world title look good. You need solid title reigns between 100 and 150 days minimum. Like I always say, Damian Priest is the right winner here.
You're probably 100% right, especially since we just saw the Judgment Day retain and regain those World Tag Team titles. That wasn't even a surprise to me. I saw that coming. And now that they have those titles, there's no way Priest is losing this match. Rollins just won't ever be able to challenge him for that again. That's the lesser of the dire consequences. No way that Damien's going to leave Judgment Day right now with the way that storyline's being set up, his involvement with Rhea Ripley, and obviously her imminent return, right? And that's what I'm hearing. Her return, at this point, it's getting closer and closer and closer.
So, to my knowledge, she will not be ready in time for SummerSlam. It's going to be at some point after SummerSlam. But shout out to Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews recently getting married this week. Shout out to them. All the best for them going forward. And Buddy Matthews, you have done well, my friend.
Congratulations to both of them. That's awesome to hear. Very good news. To keep it moving, we don't know that many more matches for Money in the Bank right now, but we could talk about the week that was the WWE. And I just want to start right here for a second, which is let's take a moment to pay our respects to Sika Anoa'i. My prayers and condolences to the entire Anoa'i family, Alpha Jr. and Lance and Jacob and Solo, Zilla, everybody, all you guys, Sean Maluda. I'm very sorry for your loss. And of course, Alpha Sr., who lost his brother. Do you have any memories of the Wild Samoans, Storm?
I don't have many memories of the Wild Samoans, but I do remember back in the day, I saw a couple clips of them. And if anything, they were part of the original Anoa'i members that really set the foundation for the rest of the Anoa'i family. I do believe that if they never got into the wrestling business, I don't think that we would have seen tag teams like the Usos. I don't think that we would have seen people like Umaga. I don't think we would have even seen The Rock. And he is perhaps the best one to come out of the Anoa'i family next to Roman Reigns as well. So shout out and thoughts and prayers go out to the Wild Samoans family, friends, all their acquaintances, all of their associates, and all the members of the wrestling family and the fans that have the memories of the Wild Samoans, and especially thoughts and prayers to Roman Reigns as well.
Yeah, Sean, I don't remember exactly. They might have called them the Head Shrinkers at one point, but that might have been another team. I don't really remember, but I know who does, and that's called Google. We'll check it out later during the show, and I'll get an answer for you. What do you want to start off with, AEW or WWE?
Don't matter, man. Give me it all.
No, it's your choice, man. Your choice right now. What do you want to start it off with? Come on.
Let's go in order. Let's start with SmackDown.
Want to start with SmackDown? I'm okay with that. SmackDown kicks us off for the week. Paul Heyman warned CM Punk not to mess with the bloodline. CM Punk, Paul Heyman sharing a moment over there. I talked about this already. What did you think about this? And, of course, Cody Rhodes coming to Punk's rescue.
I thought that this was an excellent setup for a potential bloodline versus CM Punk feud down the line. And it plays up to Paul Heyman, who right now, I've said it once, I'll say it again, Paul Heyman is the MVP of this bloodline storyline. Without him, the bloodline storyline would not be as hot as it is right now. And ever since Roman lost the championship, I'm going to throw it out there, this is the best version of the bloodline that we've seen since Sami Zayn was initially in the bloodline back in 2022. Very good segment, excellent segment, and it sets up the six-man tag at Money in the Bank. It's going to be Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline. Any four members of the Bloodline. And speaking of the fourth member, we were going to get into that a little bit later because holy shit, what a debut that the newest member of the Bloodline had in Chicago. But it was an excellent open to the show, and it set up a lot of interesting material going forward. And CM Punk, this was not the last that we saw of CM Punk in the night. We'll get into that in just a little bit.
No, not at all. Next up on SmackDown, we had my friend over here, Chelsea Green, winning that match against Bianca Belair, qualifying for the Money in the Bank. To me, like I said, it was a big deal for someone who just pretty much got here less than a year ago, maybe a year ago at this point, year and a half tops. Relatively new, and she's here. She didn't get the pin on Bianca, I'll give you that. But she was able to do much more than that, which is actually make Bianca Belair useless and take advantage of her finishing move. Classic heel style. And the crowd reaction, you got to admit, a lot of people seem genuinely surprised, but like happily surprised. I didn't really hear a lot of boos. People were actually excited to see something different, to see Chelsea Green get some shine. So we'll see what's going to happen with the Money in the Bank match. Drew McIntyre obviously attacked CM Punk. And I guess you want to talk about that now, or we can wait till we get to Raw, because we're going to talk about Drew again on Raw.
Yeah, we could talk about that now. By the way, I do want to talk about Chelsea Green for a minute. I actually did not mind Chelsea Green winning. Now, I will say that. I'm throwing it out there. I didn't mind her winning. And the reason why is because I've always had a gripe with WWE because they do not know how to invest in new stars. Chelsea Green's a new star. I very much enjoy when Chelsea Green gets serious and when Chelsea Green goes in there and she wrestles. She is a very good wrestler. All she needs to do is tone down the theatrics, because those theatrics, it's way too fucking much. You take a look at a guy like MJF. He's got the perfect blend of an in-ring performer and a great character, and he doesn't need to go overboard with his character. If Chelsea Green can tone it down just a little bit, focus on the in-ring action more, we got a winning combination. So I do not mind that Chelsea Green's in that match. I think it'll be a good showcase for her. As far as CM Punk goes, I mean, this was going to happen. This was absolutely going to happen. Punk fucked over Drew in his hometown, and now Drew McIntyre absolutely obliterates CM Punk, smashes him against a garage door, a parking garage door nonetheless. So it's not just a measly wooden garage door. This is a fucking metal garage door in the Allstate Arena, leaving him a bloody fucking mess. It was a great sight to see, and it sets up their first match at SummerSlam very, very nicely. I'm looking forward to it, and I am going to throw out a prediction right now. Drew McIntyre, he's looking to qualify for Money in the Bank. He will win his qualifying match, and I do believe Punk's going to fuck him over there too.
Makes sense. That's why Chad Gable's definitely going to win that shit 100%. Yeah, CM Punk going home in an ambulance. Some people love to see that. Some people don't. Very upsetting. Shout out to everybody in the Savage Kingdom and the posse out here in the chat. We appreciate you all being here. Yes, we all had a good week, but did Carmelo Hayes have a better week? Because he defeated Randy Orton and Tama Tonga in the same match, Storms, which was a very not shocking, but it's like one of those like damn moments. He got a big win. He beat Randy Orton. Obviously, he probably had a little help over there.
It was the right outcome.
Yeah, it's the right outcome, but he's definitely not winning Money in the Bank. I mean, but yeah,
he could. You never know. He could.
You're right. You're not wrong. Crazier things have happened.
I would not be mad with it. I would not be mad.
And what did you think about, of course, Santos Escobar brawling with LA Knight, which then turned into United States champion Logan Paul, who ambushed him?
I didn't have an issue with it whatsoever. Nice little setup for what's going on next week with their qualifying match. And Logan Paul and LA Knight is all but confirmed for SummerSlam, and that's when LA Knight's going to take that win.
Yeah, I think LA Knight is the guy to take the title off him. Right opponent, right time, red hot, and he can really rebrand that United States title and have a good run with it. And hopefully by the time he's done having a good run with it, he'll still have some gas left in the tank for an even bigger kind of title. Hopefully that's the plan long-term with him, I'm hoping. And we had Santos Escobar after his match. Andrade defeated Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller in a triple threat match to qualify for the Money in the Bank. It was an okay match if it wasn't for all the distractions and nonsense. It was a great match,
man. Great match.
It would have been nice to see a fair triple threat match, though.
Hey, listen, if it's legal, then go ahead, do it. It was no disqualifications. But here's what I've been waiting for. Finally, Andrade is getting a proper showcase on TV. Finally, after 6 months of being a complete fucking afterthought, and many people, I'm pretty sure, forgot he was even on WrestleMania this year. Andrade finally in a primetime spot where he should be. Andrade is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. This was easily the best thing that Andrade has done since he's been back. And I really hope that after Money in the Bank, whether he wins or he loses, Triple H continues to invest in him, because outside of what we saw last Friday, Andrade's run in WWE has been complete fucking dog shit. Now he's the fucking Speed X hot dog and Cheez-Its champion. And I like to hope that we get something of substance following Money in the Bank with Andrade, but this was the right outcome and a great triple threat.
Yeah, no, it was a good, I'm not going to say great. It was a good triple threat match, definitely entertaining. And Andrade deserves his due, 100%. I can't argue with you there. We had the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes defeating Solo Sikoa by disqualification. Would have been an even better match if it was actually a match. It was just an assault, a complete ambush to beat up and destroy Cody Rhodes, make him bleed. And of course, Cody needed some help. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton came out. By the way, I just want to make sure everybody listening to this stream understands that those three guys down here beneath me, those are three of the biggest stars, if not of all time, in the WWE today. And this man right here, Jacob Fatu, his sudden emergence, like a demon coming out of the ground, he sacrificed all in sight. They did him the biggest job in the world, maybe in the history of this business. You will never, ever, ever, ever again, ever, 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 ever see anyone get that kind of stamp of approval on night one. Usually a guy debuts, he comes in, he starts some shit. It's a guy, it's a one-on-one, yada, yada. This guy shows up and beats the shit out of the three biggest superstars on SmackDown all at the same damn time. Jacob Fatu is an absolute legend. It was an honor to work with him. It was an honor to, have him eat food, chill, relax, drink, smoke, party, have a good time. And now my man's doing the damn thing. Doing the damn thing and doing it bigger and better than everybody, man. Look at this guy.
Looks like we got ourselves the full team for the Bloodline War Games match coming in November.
Were you watching SmackDown Live? Did you see this live?
Of course I did. Yeah, of course I did.
How much did you...
Jacob motherfucking Fatu.
How much did you fucking pop for this shit?
I was waiting for this. I was like, when is he coming in? When is he coming in? Whose side is he going to take? There was a part of me that thought he was going to be on Roman and the Uso side, but I cannot fucking complain about this. This shit was awesome to cap off what was easily the best SmackDown of the year and easily the best SmackDown since the New Year's Revolution edition back on January 5th of this year. Nearly everything on this show, it was picture perfect, flowed very nicely. Everything felt important, and every single transition from segment to segment was absolutely done well. Triple H and the people there in WWE should be very proud of themselves for what they produced. Now, if only we can get shows like this every single week. I'd like to hope that they keep the consistency up with SmackDown, and I'd like to hope that they continue to build a lot of momentum on the show and a lot of momentum with everyone that they got going. And another thing I want to point out, want to know why SmackDown was so great? And this is what I always say, SmackDown put pro wrestling first. We had 3 great triple threat matches with 3 right outcomes. They pushed the new stars. They gave them the proper amount of time. And that is what brought SmackDown up several notches. This is what I say, people. Pro wrestling first. And look at what we got. We got the best SmackDown of the year so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what else Triple H has got cooking up going into the summer.
Well, listen, we're getting back to legacy. We talked about legacy, contribution. Because of what this guy did, because of what Alpha did, because of what Yokozuna did. All right? That was then. We're talking about a long time ago when they were doing their thing. And guess who's on top of the wrestling world today?
There you go. It's a great thing to see.
And I'll say this. I want to know your opinion, just maybe quick yes, no. Back-to-back, Monday Night Raw. The Bo Dallas thing, top of the line. Between that and SmackDown, has this not been maybe the best back-to-back episode of Raw SmackDown that we've had in maybe a long time?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Following Clash at the Castle, Raw and SmackDown last week, probably the best 1-2 punch that WWE has delivered in many, and I mean many, many, many years. So I'm hoping
I don't think we've ever seen anything. And yeah, NXT was awesome too, Michael. Absolutely.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was. Stop hating. Okay, you're supposed to be an unbiased
Yeah,
journalistic. Have some journalistic.
I don't even
integrity,
watch it
sir.
anymore.
Monday Night Raw.
We got some decent material on Raw. It wasn't overly crazy, but we did get some decent material. Drew McIntyre, obviously, he cut a great promo and followed up very nicely on what happened on SmackDown. So now we get Drew in a qualifying match next week. I do believe he is going to Money in the Bank. And Drew, once again, he's poking the bear. He's been poking the bear ever since he came back. I do believe that Punk is going to cost Drew at Money in the Bank. Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser. I wasn't really expecting this to end via DQ, but it is ending. It did end via DQ. Ludwig Kaiser defeated Braun Breaker via a disqualification because Sheamus came in. I'm not really sure I like the fact that there's been so many DQs on WWE TV in recent weeks. I really wish that's one thing I wish that they would do away with, the constant DQs. But regardless, it kind of made sense in this scenario. I just wish they wouldn't over-abuse the DQ stipulation. Regardless, Braun Breaker, he will be challenging Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank. Should be a fun match. Sheamus, not really sure where Sheamus is going, but I do believe Sheamus could very well be the guy to take the title off of Braun Breaker maybe next year if they want to continue to build up Sheamus and they want to finally give him the Intercontinental Championship. All depends on what their mindset is because, listen, we're big fans of Sheamus. Sheamus is fucking great. But Braun Breaker right now, he's the top priority.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. You're not wrong there. He's definitely top priority. Sheamus just playing his part. Was a good match. Would have been even better if it wasn't for Sheamus. I would love to see that match happen again in full action. Right now, Mustafa Ali is on TNA Impact. He is demanding, I guess, a number one contender shot for the World Championship. I think he's talking a lot of shit.
Option C, baby.
He's playing the politic game here. He's actually getting fans ejected from the arena right now. So he is really displaying his power in TNA remarkably well. We'll keep you updated with what's going on there. To get back to Monday Night Raw, I definitely want to see the rematch between Ludwig and Braun Breaker, and Ludwig and Sheamus now is probably going to happen. We had Lyra Valkyria defeating Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane in her triple threat match to qualify in Money in the Bank. Yeah, Lyra looked great. Listen, Lyra looked great, and Shayna had to take another one for the team. Storms, what was your take on this?
Well, Shayna didn't get pinned. I don't think Shayna was the one that got pinned. I do believe it was Kairi Sane that got pinned. So
either way, pinned, not pinned, she's not getting the win, and that's all she's after.
Listen, at the end of the day, I do believe Shayna Baszler does deserve better. Matter of fact, it actually pisses me off that Shayna Baszler is not in the same position that Rhea Ripley was able to be put in. If anything, Shayna Baszler was doing Rhea Ripley before Rhea Ripley was doing Rhea Ripley back in NXT. Regardless, I'm glad that Lyra's in. Lyra should be a top candidate to win it. If you don't want to go with Tiffany Stratton, Lyra's a good secondary choice. Lyra has really shown a lot in the last couple of months since she came to Monday Night Raw. And I do have to give WWE credit here. Again, Lyra, she is a new star. And I always say you need to build up new stars. So in the end, got to give WWE credit where credit is due. They're investing in Lyra Valkyria. They're giving her a lot of good showcases. They're giving her wins on Raw, and they're featuring her in high-profile matches. Keep this up, and you're going to have yourself a nice top-tier babyface in due time on Monday Night Raw.
That's what's up. Right now, I'm watching TNA, and Mustafa Ali has been interrupted by Speedball Mike Bailey. Security's having to hold him off. Speedball Mike Bailey out here completely making this get out of hand, disrespecting Mustafa Ali, who, by the way, is chasing that Speedball Mike Bailey. Has him again. He's beat these guys. They can't stop beating the hell out of each other. Obviously, this is going to probably have to be settled at Slammiversary, Storms. Who do you got in that one? Speedball or Ali? That's a great match. And
I can't root against Ali, man. Ali's my guy. Ali has been my guy for a long, long time.
Speedball holding up that title right now. He stole the title from Ali. Ali is livid. My God.
You don't put your hands on another man's title. We saw that this past Wednesday on Dynamite.
Ali is sick and tired of these stupid fans chanting his damn name. Unbelievable.
Gotta love it.
Shout out to Kairi Sane for that elbow drop. Beautiful shot right there.
Yeah, Kairi's awesome.
Yeah, she's great. What do you think about the WWE making merch for more celebrities like Tyrese Halliburton?
I mean, it's typical. We've seen it done before, and it's certainly not going to stop. It's a non-factor.
Yeah. How about Zelina Vega, who made it clear she wanted a women's world title match against Liv Morgan? Dominique Mysterio accidentally helped Morgan against Rey Mysterio when he pushed his father during an altercation involving the women's world champion. Vega and the WWE Hall of Famer. Look at all this.
Holy shit, we're actually getting Liv Morgan wrestling. My God, hell has frozen over. I'm telling you, I've been complaining for weeks now that all they've been doing is building Liv Morgan's title reign around the seduction of Dominic Mysterio. Now we're finally getting her wrestling. I would like this to be a little bit more of a consistent thing, please, and thank you. Listen.
Yeah, but she's getting wrestling, but against someone who absolutely doesn't deserve a world title shot.
I know, that's another
Zelina
problem.
Vega has done nothing.
System. We need the ranking system. Build pro wrestling like a sport. Listen. I will say one positive thing, and I do have to give Liv Morgan credit, not just because she's a Jersey girl, but because she's playing her role well. I cannot discredit her for that, but I fucking hate the fact that this is the extent of her women's title reign, and I would really like to see other women build themselves up through wins and then get themselves a women's title match against Liv Morgan. I just hope that they actually decide to invest a little bit more in her. But listen, that's what happens when you have your two biggest stars out and you don't invest in anyone else. You have Rhea out, you got Becky out, and you haven't invested in anyone else.
Okay. Not wrong. I'm going to show these sneakers right here that Michael B just finished for Josh Alexander. Looking pretty clean there.
Fucking nice.
Very good job, Michael.
Fucking nice, man.
Very nice.
Holy shit.
Yeah, now he said he has time and he's actually going to finish my pair of sneakers. The Air Force Greeks are on the way.
The Air Force Greeks. Holy shit. You got your own fucking sneaker. Oh, my fucking God. I gotta catch up to you. It's unfucking believable.
See, I'm not lying either.
You aren't allowed to outshine me. What the fuck?
I finished Josh's shoes today, bro. Now I can start on yours. See? I mean,
Michael, he's not allowed to outshine me.
That's what happens when you're a fucking savage.
Gotcha,
Michael B. If you want custom sneakers, make sure you hit up Michael B. If he's smart, Michael B will drop his Instagram in the chat right now. And in the future, hopefully, if you watch this fine episode, you can follow him and check out all his work. He does a good job. Now, enough about plugging people. Let's get back to what were we talking about? Monday Night Raw, right?
Yeah, Monday Night Raw, baby.
Are you happy that Dom is fighting his dad again, though?
I mean, we haven't seen it in over a year. I mean, I'm sure.
Yes or no? Do you want to see it?
I don't necessarily want to see it, but I'm not going to sit here and say that, yeah, it's going to be the worst thing in the world.
I asked you yes or no. The answer is no. There's no.
Listen, I give analytical takes. I dive in depth.
Sir, life has options, and sometimes there's only two of them. It's yes or no. Keep it simple. Keep it moving. Monday Night Raw. Back. What's this? Chad Gable? Braun Strowman? Bronson Reed in a triple threat match to qualify for Money in the Bank? Yes, sir. We saw it happen, and he did have a little help. And I'm sure that Storms noticed the ring getting hacked by Uncle Howdy. And I'm sure Uncle Howdy's demons were out there helping because obviously the Judgment Day was out there. Is this like a sign that the Judgment Day maybe can be controlled by Uncle Howdy?
I don't think that the Judgment Day and the
I know they were out there for Braun, right? They wanted Braun.
At this very moment, I do believe that they're going to keep those factions separate for the time being. Now, I'm slightly shocked that we didn't get Braun versus Damian Priest, but I'm not complaining. And I'm sure as hell not complaining that Chad got the win. I would have been fine if Bronson Reed got the win, but I can't complain because Chad Gable, he is a fucking beast at what he does. And I would be completely fine with him winning, especially after he got snubbed out of the Intercontinental Championship for Sami Zayn. It is what it is there. But Chad Gable, he's my guy. He's Savage's guy. He is a fucking beast at what he does, and he only gets better with every single fucking match.
Top 10 easy active wrestler in the world. No joke about that. And Michael B., we're going to talk about that question. We're going to talk about AEW rankings.
For the first 3 years, it did. For the first 3 years.
No, right, not yet. Save it. And then we're going to get to this question when we get to NXT. If we think William Regal will lead a new group of AEW invaders on NXT. Interesting take right there. We're gonna get to those. But to finish up on Monday Night Raw, Chad Gable got the win. Nikki Cross comes out. Spooky. Chad Gable manages to get away, but Michael Cole unfortunately can't get away. She gives him a package. It's a tape. Michael Cole tells production, "I'm gonna see if we can hopefully production can find something to play this with, so we can show it to everyone here tonight." And it was all well done. They're doing all of this very well. Very well.
Absolutely.
We'll get back to that later. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Alba Fire Isla Dawn defeated Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. We need more women's tag teams. They can't just keep beating up the same people. So let's go, WWE. Step it up and give me 4 or 5 more women's tag teams. And of course, here it is. To me, Damage Control, they come out. They want the titles, obviously, but it's the same shit. We know Damage Control is the only other faction. We need more. We need more. What did you think about
No, we need to get rid of the titles. We need to get rid of the fucking titles. That's what we need to do. Titles suck. The women's tag team titles do not work. We need undercard storylines. We need a ranking system. Build up your women's wrestlers through wins. And if you get rid of the women's tag team titles, that offers more of a division and more challengers for the Women's World Championship.
I don't think we need to get rid of it, but it could maybe have its own show. And now with Netflix coming out next year, we're going to have an abundance of content coming our way. There could be a show just for women's wrestling. There could be a show just for lightweight wrestling. There could be a show for ECW. I heard all kinds of ideas. Man, Netflix is going to be wild, man. You don't even know what's about to happen next year. This game is only going to get bigger. Wrestling fans will now no longer have to be forced to not be able to see Monday Night Raw because they live in one of the 96 countries that it's fucking banned from. Now they can watch it on Netflix and they can say, suck it, and this and that. They can watch the network. It's all going to Netflix. I don't even think you begin to fathom how much of a fucking move this is to Netflix. Has it hit you yet? God damn it.
Yes, it has, actually. It has hit me. Listen, I'm just happy that we don't have to sit here and have the crowd chants censored anymore.
That's for sure. What did you think about Damian Priest, Seth Rollins? I think we touched a little bit on it earlier, so I'd maybe keep it short on this one.
Yeah, excellent segment. And the stipulation makes the match that much more unpredictable and that much more interesting. If anything, I think that this could be Damian Priest's best match on the main roster and the best match as the world champion thus far. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think we're about to see this match here on
it's something,
TNA.
my guy.
Big time match coming up for the Rascals. Let's see if they can get a chance to move up in the TNA world of tag team wrestling. Can they do it? I'll keep you posted. Seth Rollins, though, what a jacket right there. Look at that jacket. What a jacket.
Gorilla Dior, baby.
This was a nice touch, too, with Gunther being there and saying that he really wants to see this matchup. It just added a level of authenticity to it. And, you know, it makes everyone in that ring look very credible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like
you gotta appreciate Gunther, baby.
Now, let's get to this, okay? Because this might have been the best promo of all time. It was that damn good, that damn goosebumpy. I love the fact that they didn't hold back and they went straight to the elephant in the room about his brother's death, like right off the jump. What did you think about this promo? Where would you rate it all time?
Brilliant. I thought it was fucking brilliant from the word go. And this is that level of creativity that I really hope that they continue to tap into. And you know what I loved about it the most? What was so great about it, what really resonated was the fact that it was almost like Bo Dallas was talking to the dark side of himself. It's like he wasn't even talking to another person. He was literally having a conversation with himself. He was having a conversation with the demon that lies inside him. And this was a beautiful expansion on what we saw last week. And now we are finally, I like to hope, cross my fingers, so far, week 2 was good. Week 1 was good. Week 2 was good. I'm a little apprehensive. I don't know where they're going to be 4, 5, 6 months from now. But so far, for the first 2 weeks, they are doing well with the Wyatt 6. Now it's all about where they're going to land, who they're going to fight, when they're going to wrestle, and where they're going to be in the next 6, 7, 8 months. But this promo,
the fact that this is going to guarantee get over and work is because they went straight to reality. They didn't waste any time letting you think about what's Bo Dallas going to be. How's he going to? He already showed you. He's going to be himself, who's battling with demons like Uncle Howdy. Bo Dallas is a professional wrestler who wants to have a legacy and do what he and his brother wanted to do, which is take over the WWE. And now that's on his shoulders, which, by the way, are real human shoulders. He isn't a super natural monster. He's a dude who's fighting with real demons. And those demons are manifested through Uncle Howdy and Nikki Cross and the whole Wyatt.
He's fighting a demon inside him, and it's a brilliant
That's why
story.
This makes it never ending. They can make this work forever because it resonates. It's fucking real. It's Bo Dallas battling with the demons. So every time we see Uncle Howdy, it ain't going to be a surprise. We know he's battling with demons. His brother will not let him fail. His brother, if anything, died so Bo Dallas could shine. It's real. It gives me goosebumps. I can only imagine what it's doing to the kids that started watching Bray Wyatt 10, 12 years ago and are die-hard fans. They love him. They love his brother. They are watching this with open eyes, open hearts, and I guarantee you the fans are not going to let this fail. Triple H is not going to let this fail. Bo Dallas has a very big job ahead of him. But if he can do it, he's gonna go down as a fucking legend in this business. If he can, he could be like, wow, man. I don't even want to say what he can be, man. I think it's never-ending possibilities. I'll say that, man. You know what I'm saying? The storyline writes itself at this point. Some of the best production we've ever seen, not only on a wrestling show, but on a TV show, this whole segment. Well done. Timing was perfect. So far, it's an A+ for me for this. And we'll see if Triple H can keep it up. Karrion Kross.
Holy shit, Karrion Kross got a win.
Kofi Kingston.
Holy shit. Finally, Karrion Kross gets a fucking win. Now, if you can only do this with him for about 6, 7 months, maybe he'd have some credibility. Holy shit, Karrion Kross got a win. Dude, hell froze over twice. We got Liv Morgan actually wrestling, and Karrion Kross got a win.
And Chad Gable.
Gable, I kind of had a feeling he was going to win that. I mean, that's not as shocking as Karrion Kross.
Yeah, but Gable's been losing all the big ones for a while now.
Look, he's in Money in the Bank now.
Well, Karrion Kross out here trying to end the New Day. They were beating up Xavier Woods in the back, were the AOP. Finn Balor, JD McDonough, your new tag team champions, defeating Awesome Truth to capture the World Tag Team Championship on the main event of Monday Night Raw. Of course, they had some help from Carlito, but more importantly, they had some help from Liv Morgan. Wow, is she playing games?
Now, here's what I will say. I'm going to say 2 things, and then I'm going to throw it back to you. I'm going to throw out the positive first. The positive, the tag team titles are off of Awesome Truth. Thank Christ. Awesome Truth fucking sucked. The negative. Now, I'm happy for JD, but Finn Balor is above this. Finn Balor should have been in Money in the Bank. Finn Balor should have gotten further along in the King of the Ring tournament, and it's quite pathetic that this is the extent of Finn Balor's run right now. He re-signed with the WWE to get the titles back that he lost at WrestleMania. Like, you took the titles off the Judgment Day just to give them right back to the Judgment Day. That's fucking pathetic. I'm happy for JD. I'm happy for JD because JD's awesome. JD's always been awesome, but Finn Balor's above this.
What was that? Calm down. No, I don't need to calm down. Greek doesn't have to calm down. I can't calm down. I'm going to die when I die, and you have to deal with that, okay?
Now listen. You can't tell either of us to calm down because we got a seamless amount of energy. We got so much energy that I'm telling you, the big podcasters need to watch us to figure out how to get as much energy as us.
So much energy that we pretty much got through all of WWE in less than an hour, except we still have NXT, which took place on Tuesday night. Coming up soon on July 7th, NXT Heat Wave. Look at these matchups, man. Some big-time matchups coming your way. I'm looking forward to it. Chase U won their matchup. Okay, the tag team turmoil. They become now the #1 contenders for the NXT tag team titles. These guys, by the way, were the workhorses of the match. They were in there the majority of the time. I'm shocked that they didn't win. Chase U was able to pretty much steal the win. Some good action for the opening match. Without question, a very good opening match. Ethan Page comes out. He's talking shit to Ava Raine. He's basically pissed off that he's getting disrespected. Sean Spears comes out, continues to disrespect him. Sean Spears, he feels he should be in the position that Ethan Page is. He feels he should have that championship. Trick William comes out. They beat the shit out of him. Javon comes out, makes the save. We keep it moving to Wesley defeating Joe Coffey in a physical matchup. But all this is building him up because they want him to take on Oba Femi, the North American champion. Tony D'Angelo defeated Nathan Frazier in a very exciting, intense, high-pace matchup that honestly stole the show. Best match of the night. NXT Heritage Cup Championship on the line. Tony D defeats Nathan Frazier and looking good while he was doing it, man. They might have the best spine buster in the business right now. And it's sad that Storms is missing out on action like this. Roxanne Perez defeated Carmen Petrovic, but Lola Vice came out and she made a statement. So Roxanne picking up the win, but still getting knocked out at the end of the night with a vicious swinging right backhand fist to the face. Tavion Heights, very impressive, Storms. Someone you might want to keep your eyes out on. He defeated Damon Kemp impressively with some incredible suplexes. And then the No Quarter Catch crew pretty much turned their back on Damon Kemp and welcomed this guy into the faction. That's how good he was.
Interesting.
Very good match. Good match. My girl over here, So Ruka, probably the most athletic woman in NXT, defeated Ariana Grace. No surprise there. Good matchup.
She just turned 27, Ariana Grace, so shout out to her.
Happy birthday. And probably in the most shocking events, Sean Spears defeats Trick Williams. Wow.
What a way to make your world champion look. He loses like a fucking bum.
Ethan Page and Ora Mensa were going at it. It was a good match. This was a good main event. I was happy to see Sean Spears pick up a win, bro. It was nice to see.
Well, what is it, 2-10 since his WWE return? How about that?
It might be 1-10 at this point, man. I don't know. It's not good. It's not good.
Garbage.
But yeah, that's what you missed on NXT.
NXT garbage.
We got some breaking news on WWE. Maybe you heard about it.
Liv Morgan surpasses Cody Rhodes in popularity on Google. I mean, when you got Liv Morgan calling Dominic daddy, I wouldn't be too surprised. Pat McAfee reveals tragic reason for his absence. Yes, a family member passed away very suddenly, so thoughts and prayers go out to Pat McAfee as well. Mandy Rose addresses potential AEW move. I would not mind it. I mean, the AEW women's division has really come a long way, and I think that they could benefit a lot from having Mandy Rose in there, maybe even go to Ring of Honor. Vince McMahon's office remains empty. I mean, as expected, he's not even there, and he shouldn't be there. He's a piece of shit. WWE urged to give Uncle Howdy the world title. No. No. He's not world title worthy. It takes a lot than just a good promo in order to be considered world title worthy. When he's wrestling like Will Ospreay, then you can give me a call, and then we can put the world title on him, all right? Till next time, get the fuck out. Behind the scenes current documentary finally gets a release date. I mean, after all this time, let's be honest, this is nothing more than a means to blow off Triple H and The Rock and make it seem like the build to WrestleMania was great, when in reality, the build to WrestleMania was terrible because The Rock hogged it all. Rhea Ripley, WWE return, plans are in place. We talked about this, and we're going to talk about this more on the LFU this Saturday. Sean Rossap, he did report that the plans are in place, and that is to be expected. I mean, let's be honest here. They are in place for Rhea Ripley to come back, get her revenge on Liv Morgan, because right now Liv Morgan is seducing her dom-dom. Joe Hendry claims responsibility for NXT's video surpass. I mean, let's be honest. Yes, that's literally the only reason why, because Joe Hendry right now, he became the most viral wrestler in the industry in the last however many months now, the last 2-3 months. He's been the most viral wrestler across the industry. Planning to expand future big for premium live events. I don't really know what they mean by expanding. The only thing that I'm hoping is that they don't make them all 2 nights. I fucking hate the 2-night WrestleMania. Half the shit that we saw on WrestleMania this year didn't even belong on WrestleMania. So we should not get 2-night events. If anything, they need to go back to 1 night, but they won't because they make too much money. And WWE at this point, they're making more money than they really need because they're a bunch of greedy fucks.
Let them make their money just like the ABC.
Go back to 1-night WrestleMania. 2 nights sucks cock.
Hold on. ABC just won their match on TNA. I'm not going to disagree with you. I've always argued that everything should be more traditional. No drafts, 1 champion, yada, yada. Everybody always fights with me and argues with me and whatever. I'm not going to sit here and debate with you 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, this night. They don't give a fuck. They're going to make fucking money. They want to make money, and they're going to make money, and that's all you need to know. They want to make money.
I know, but you can make money and put out a good show. Let me tell you something. If you cannot give us a good product and make your money, then you suck at your job.
I don't even know who the masked man was at the end. I have no idea. If you know, let me know. Bullet Club angle and the Bloodline angle, yeah, that could happen there eventually if they ever get to that point. But right now, I think they're all in on the Bloodline angle, and Bullet Club has absolutely no plans of doing anything with the Bloodline anytime soon. I don't see that in the cards. I just don't. I guess we could start talking about this show that you love so much, AEW.
Listen, I'm fair.
Hold on. All right.
I'm not a show.
You love it. What's the problem? I said you love it so much.
I like WWE too. I just praise SmackDown too.
You like it. You don't love it. You like it. Listen.
I love good TV.
Forbidden Door, Sunday, June 30th. You can watch it on Triller TV or maybe still get a ticket and go down to the UBS Arena. Here's a look at the card that we had for Dynamite. But before we talk about Dynamite, we'll get into the results for Rampage and Collision. All right, let's start off with Rampage. Private Party defeating Metallic and Commander. Ray Phoenix defeating Turbo Floyd. Leo Rush defeating Action Andretti. AR Fox losing to Shingo Takagi. And then, of course, Serena Deeb taking the loss to Willow Nightingale, who is on an absolutely big-time tear right now, killing it in her career. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata defeated the Premier Athletes. Chris Jericho and Big Bill defeated Private Party. And Okada, probably the hottest guy in AEW right now, merch-wise. I'm sure that shirt is selling out. He defeated the Ultimo Guerrero. The Patriarchy defeated Iron Savages Iron Savages and Jack Jameson. Tony Storm, Mariah May defeated Layla Hirsch and Lady Frost. House of Black in action. They defeated 2 local schmucks in an absolute squash match. And Haichi Sato defeated Daddy Magic because they got to build him up for his match against MJF. And this was actually a great main event. And we're going to get to you, Storms. Did you see Rampage? Did you see Collision? And what did you think about this matchup? And I want to ask you one question. Did Brian Cage not prove to the world that he can go with anybody in the ring?
He's been a main eventer for a long time. I've always been an advocate for Brian Cage. He is fantastic at what he does. To answer your question, I watched all of Rampage. I only watched half of Collision, but I did see the main event of Collision. As far as Rampage goes, we had some decent things on the show, but like I say all the time, When it comes to Rampage, they're putting way too much on the fucking show. I'm fair, and I'm going to say things that need to be said. 5 matches, way too fucking much. Rampage should be 3 matches. And as far as the overall show goes, it would have been better if you'd taken away the squash match with Takagi and AR Fox, and it would have been better if you took the Ray Phoenix Turbo Floyd match off the show. But regardless, Lio Rush and Action Andretti, that was a decent match there. Lio Rush is going to the ladder match, and you take a look at the talent in that ladder match, Savage. That ladder match is going to be fucking crazy. We got one more qualifying match on Rampage. It's El Phantasmo versus AR Fox. I'm going with El Phantasmo. We're going to get some crazy spots in that match. The ladies stole the show. The ladies stole Rampage. The ladies put on the best match of the night. Very good match between those two. Very good start to the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. And Willow Nightingale, she's going to the semifinals. Very happy for her. Willow and Chris Statlander, they got themselves a nice, solid grudge match in the semifinals of the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. And I'm throwing it out there, like I said, Statlander's going to the finals. Willow's great, but Statlander, she's a newly turned heel. They're looking to build her up. The opening match, little wonky, not the best I've seen from Private Party. Did not need the Turbo Floyd Ray Phoenix match, but we ended up getting it. Then we move on to Collision. As far as Collision goes, shout out to Lady Frost. Love me some Lady Frost. Lady Frost is fucking fantastic. Her and her husband, Victor Benjamin, they're both awesome. Lady Frost and legit Layla Hirsch looked good against Mariah May and Toni Storm. Okada defeated Ultimo Guerrero as expected. Thankfully, we're not getting the 6-man tag match between the Learning Tree branches and Samoa Joe's group, although I do love Samoa Joe's group. That much I will say. Shout out to MSG and LSG, a couple of ISPW professional wrestlers. They made their Collision debut in 2024, and they got destroyed by the House of Black. Gotta love the House of Black. I do believe that we're going to be getting a match between the Patriarchy and the House of Black. Then we also got ourselves Hechicero and Daddy Magic. Not needed. Listen, I respect Daddy Magic. I like Hechicero. He won me over the last couple times. However, the match felt wonky. It felt off. Didn't need to happen. Don't understand why it did. However, the main event was the best thing on the show by far. These guys got 25 minutes. These guys fucking killed it. Will Ospreay once again put on a fucking banger, this time with Brian Cage. Brian Cage, severely underrated. I don't think he gets enough appreciation. If you're asking me, we did get some decent shit on the show, but like I said with Rampage, there was just too much shit on Collision. They need to learn how to pace things better, and they should not be overstuffing a 2-hour show with 7 to 8 matches. 2-hour shows, give them 5 matches. 1-hour shows, give them 3 matches. So even though we did get some decent stuff, both shows were overstuffed. As you already know, I am fair, but Will Ospreay and Brian Cage, like I said, that was the highlight of both shows. And you said Okada's got some new merch. Indeed. And to all the fucking idiots out there that want to tell me, they want to tell me what's what about pro wrestling, I got something to say to you. In the words of Kazuchika Okada, shut up, bitches.
Yeah. Dustin Rhodes has some new merch too. If you want to support the natural born legend, go on over to shopaew.com. And like I said, Forbidden Door still has some tickets available. Long Island, New York, Sunday, June 30th, AEWTix.com. Here's a look at the path to All In Summer Series coming up. Tickets available at all these shows. A look at your current champions, and we're going to find out more if this little picture here is going to change next week. After this weekend, we're going to get into Dynamite, what we saw that night, and then, of course, we'll probably cap the show off with our Forbidden Door hype and picks and all that good stuff. Let's get back to Dynamite, though. MJF, right? He shows up. He's talking a little bit. Gets interrupted by this man here, Mr. Daniel Garcia. And then, of course, he gets interrupted by Will Ospreay, and all that we get from that is a match will take place against Daniel Garcia and Will Ospreay next Wednesday night for all the gold. What did you think about the start to Dynamite?
This was an excellent opening segment, and it did accomplish a lot. Number one, it got Daniel Garcia in the public eye, and Daniel Garcia just like they've been doing all year. They've been showcasing him very well. Daniel Garcia is great at what he does, and I'm glad that MJF put him over a little bit as well. And if you've been paying attention, it's a game of one-upsmanship between Ospreay and MJF. Ospreay upstaged MJF and gave Daniel Garcia a shot at the International Championship and the world title if he wins it at Forbidden Door, which he will not. But regardless, he still gave him a title shot because Garcia's been winning matches, and MJF kind of brushed off Daniel Garcia afterwards. If you don't know where this is leading to, you better get with the program because we're about to get ourselves. MJF likes to call himself a generational talent. We're going to get a generational match at All In. It will be Will Ospreay versus MJF for the International Championship, and it is going to feed a hell of a lot of generations for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
It might be MJF versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship.
No.
International
MJF is not in the Owen Hart Cup tournament, so he can't get the world title shot.
There is a dark horse, my friend.
But I know who the dark horse is.
You think you know. We don't know for certain just yet, but the only thing I know for certain is that Steve Maclin is taking on Sami Callihan right now live on TNA Impact. Sami Callihan out here, and he wants to make a statement. He hasn't had like a big match moment in quite some time. And I think he wants to get back to that world championship picture. Could start here with a win against Steve Maclin. We'll keep you posted on those results. My co-host here, Mr. Storms, believes that we're going to get a generational match from Will Ospreay and this man here, MJF, at, what is it, Wembley Stadium?
Wembley Stadium, baby.
Maybe. Okay. We heard from Mercedes Moné. Guess what? I wish we didn't. Go ahead, Storms.
Don't really know why. Listen, they've done what they needed to do. They've built up the match with Stephanie Vacour nicely through some video packages. And like I said, we're going to get ourselves a 2022 FTR style year from Mercedes Moné. She will be beating Vacour. And one thing I want to point out with the women's division is you got two top-tier champions with two top-tier characters and top-tier wrestling skills. You got Moné and Toni Storm. It's going to be interesting to see how they one-up each other. Because you take a look at Double or Nothing, and the match with Willow and Mercedes actually just etched out over Deeb and Toni. Not by much, but just a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see if Mina and Toni are going to try and one-up Mercedes and Vacour. But that's the type of competition that we need in the AEW women's division. Women that are going to go out there and they're going to see how they can one-up each other, because a competition, some healthy, friendly competition within your roster, that makes the women's division better. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with Vacour.
Yeah, that's not a bad take at all. I just don't care about Mercedes Moné. That's why I don't care about this match. Doesn't matter who she's
You don't
facing.
have to care about her, but listen, you got to acknowledge that she's a great.
Listen, I'm not acknowledging a fucking thing about Mercedes Moné. She's overpaid.
With the right
and
talent,
Bailey's better than her, and Becky Lynch is better than her.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're all better than her. Sasha
Charlotte
Banks
sucks.
is a shitty extra on Star Wars. She's lucky she even landed that role. All she
Charlotte's
does is
lucky
dances.
She became a wrestler. Shut up.
Listen, don't talk about the greatest human of all time like that.
He's
Right now,
tough.
Sami Callihan kicked off this match with a fucking power driver that, I mean, I thought Maclin was dead. So this is a hot match. You might want to turn on TNA if you have it on the side, and keep an eye on this match. I'll keep you posted on the results. Again, I don't care about Mercedes Moné. I'm sure the chat would agree, but we did have a trios matchup here. Saraya, Anna Jay, Harley Cameron taking the loss against Mina and Mariah May and Timeless Toni Storm. And we'll get into the discussion when we get to the photos. Kyle O'Reilly taps out to Zack Sabre Jr. BCC get disqualified because Moxley can't not use a steel chair. LIJ picks up the win. Jay White not only beat Ray Phoenix, but beat the shit out of Ray Phoenix. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay obviously win their matchup. No surprise there. We already talked about MJF. We already talked about Will Ospreay. And now we'll get right into this tag team match that took place. What was your thoughts on this tag team match?
I was kind of disappointed that it ended in a DQ. I'm not going to lie. However, they don't do DQs very often, but I can't hide my disappointment. But this was mainly a match to sell two matches that is going down at Forbidden Door. We got Moxley and Naito. I do believe Naito's going to win the title back. And then we got Bryan and Shingo, the Japanese Dragon versus the American Dragon. We got a big brawl. Naito and Moxley got into it. Bryan and Shingo got into it. No physicality, because I do believe they're saving a big physical blowout for when we get ourselves the match at Forbidden Door. And holy shit, it's Toto fucking Tom. How you doing, man?
Hold on. How dare you introduce Toto Tom? First of all, Toto Tom's a piece of shit. Don't even give him a proper. Don't shut your mouth, Storms. Don't even give this man a proper introduction. He doesn't know how to treat professional wrestlers. He thinks he can do whatever he wants. Not only that, he thinks he can just come into this show right now, looking all dapper with his stupid hat that I'm gonna slap off the top of his head the next time I see him, and I'll make sure to knock a few of those brain cells out too. Whatever you have left, whatever Spencer Slade left you with.
I've had my hat knocked off by you plenty of times already. Spencer Slade.
You son of a bitch. What are you doing here? What's up?
Spencer Slade. I don't know. Some idiot left the link up on the Facebook page.
I left the link up. I left the link up for people that want to come in and actually chime in. You got something worthy of professional wrestling? The floor is yours.
I just thought I'd bring the ratings up to this pitiful podcast that you two have going on. What are you watching, actually? Are you watching the debate? Actually, that's where I came on to talk about the debate.
Don't you dare bring politics into this goddamn show or I'll beat the shit out of you.
Tom's going heel on us right here.
All right. What about, we could talk about the NBA draft, how the Knicks did.
The Knicks did phenomenal. Who cares? It doesn't matter, because what matters to me is the health of the Knicks players when it comes summertime and the playoffs are here. I don't give a shit about 82 games anymore. I give a shit about the playoffs, round 1, round 2, round 3, and the finals. Now shut your ass up unless you have something to say about professional wrestling.
All right, I do have something to say. DJ, you got me in trouble again this week.
What did I do?
Well, I aired that footage with you and I and GKM on the show this week for ISPW, and yeah, shit's going. I may need Spencer Slade this Saturday at the Meadowlands racetrack.
Don't ask me. Ask him.
Is Spencer available?
You can't afford Spencer Slade. Spencer Slade recently signed a very lucrative contract with NWA that I personally oversaw every single minute detail, making sure they're taking care of my client to peak perfection. I don't think you can any longer afford his services.
I saw your client's name in the latest issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Oh, you're going to continue to see his name.
Yep. I saw him defeating, I think it was, I forgot who it was. It was some woman. Anyway, it was at the NWA Crockett Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So nice job.
No, they didn't mention all the other pinfalls he had either, right along the way, throughout the country, throughout the world. Well, he hasn't lost a match since, I don't even know, like 2021.
Savage has been guiding him to greatness.
As his manager, you need to be on top of that. I mean, I can get you the hookup at PWI if you'd like, and you can post all of his wins there.
Listen, I don't deal with those schmucks because they are not the definition of greatness. The definition of greatness is what Savage is about to do to the professional wrestling business.
Did I just hear you bash PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated?
Absolutely. Jabronis, DJ, all of them. Jabronis.
He's going to take you down, DJ. He's going to take you and your show down.
Jabronis.
Hey, listen, he hasn't bashed me. He's been giving me the platform on here. Listen, you realize how many people have tried to cancel me over the years? Next month, I'm celebrating my 7-year anniversary as DJ motherfucking Storms. Ain't no one fucking taking me down, brother.
See, what Tom fails to realize is anybody that works with Savage goes straight to the top. You don't believe me? Ask Swerve Strickland.
I was already at the top.
Don't believe me? Don't believe me, Tom? Ask Jacob Fatu.
Well, and by the way, Tom,
who works with Savage, next night he's on AEW.
By the way, Tom, don't blame me for your comments regarding GKM. I didn't do anything. I don't get people in the shit. I don't
First of all, Tom always gets in trouble. Tom always gets in trouble because he doesn't have any common sense. So he thinks he's helping and this and that. Meanwhile, he's just putting his nose in other people's business, getting involved in areas he has absolutely no place being in. And there he is, yet bothering everything, touching things, asking questions. He is the definition of annoyance.
Yeah, I had to put some light on me because I wasn't properly shown on your podcast here, but now look at Total with Tom, the influencer in professional wrestling. That's my new name, by the way.
You are the influencer of Totowa, a very small town in New Jersey. Congratulations.
It's actually quite a big
DJ,
town.
DJ, did you tell him what happened in Totowa to me?
Yeah, you got booed in your own hometown.
Yeah, I saw it. He sends me the footage of him getting booed. That's how desperate he is for attention. He sends me the footage of him
in your
getting
own
booed.
hometown.
He was so proud that he got booed in his hometown.
I was actually asking you if that was right. I wanted to know how it felt, Savage, to get booed.
Listen. You don't know about getting booed. You don't know about getting real heat. The reason the people in your town booed you is because they know you and they don't like you. You go anywhere else, they're not gonna boo. It's gonna be fucking crickets because they don't know who the fuck you are. The second you leave Totowa, Tom is dead. They don't give a fuck about Tom.
We'll see you at the Meadowlands racetrack this Saturday.
I'll be keeping my eye on that. That's for
Are you
sure.
going?
By the way,
DJ, you going?
Here's what I will say. I'm gonna
Saturday. I'm going to House of Glory Saturday. I got an invite from Master
P.
P.
Right. You going House of Glory?
I got an invite from Master P, so I'll be at House of Glory, possibly, maybe causing a little trouble.
I'll be watching.
Maybe.
Oh, by the way, I'm actually going to build up Tom here. I actually am going to give him credit. He's doing a very good job with
Yeah,
ISPW.
everybody should go follow. If you're a fan of ISPW, Tom actually does a very nerdy, professional job. He's very good. Makes it feel like you're watching. What's that loser's name that used to do the show with Vince from England? Kid, what was his name?
Lord Alfred Hayes.
There you go. That's your ISPW show. It's got that kind of like 80s Titans TV kind of feel. I like it. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Lord Alfred.
It seems as though the only fan he has is Vicious Vicky.
Nah, she doesn't even like him.
That won't last long because she doesn't like. Nobody likes him.
Yeah.
David LaGreca doesn't even like him. I'm surprised they still let this guy call in.
I'm going to have to call in to Busted Open. Maybe give them a flavor of Storms.
I don't think Busted Open can handle the Savage Stakes anymore. So
we'll see. We'll see. Well, listen, Bully Ray has actually gotten on my good side recently, so I may have to call in.
I'm sure he'll change that quick. Don't worry.
So what are we doing here?
We were getting into 15 minutes. We got interrupted by Total Tom. We were talking about AEW Dynamite, and of course, we still have breaking news to get into for AEW and our predictions for Forbidden Door, which is taking place this Sunday. And I heard somebody offered you tickets, and you can't make it to Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I can't. I'm actually going to be not available.
Okay.
How's that?
I'm pissed off. I wish I could be there, dude. I really wish I could be there, but I'm going to be at Full Gear in November. As far as the 6-man tag team match goes, like I said, I wish that they could have ended it clean, but regardless, it did the job to sell the 2 main matches with Bryan and Shingo and Naito and Moxley. Then we go to the Owen Hart Cup tournament match with Phoenix and Jay White. This was very good. Jay White, as expected, he got the win. He needed the win. And it looks like we could be getting the Bang Bang Gang versus the Patriarchy at All In for the World Trios titles. I am not going to have a problem with that. That is a good move. And I know Savage will not have a problem with that because with Christian and the Patriarchy winning, it gets a championship on his main man, Luchasaurus. And I know he wants to see Luchasaurus as a champion in AEW. So that right there is going to be a good night for the Patriarchy at All In. Then Mariah May, by the way, my Lord. Mariah
yeah, let's take a moment. Let's pause the show. It's time to acknowledge and appreciate Mariah May.
I need to screenshot that. Hold on. All right, thank you.
Easy, Tom.
So, that's another good one. Hold on. So it's been real good being with you guys on this show. Wait, hold on. Okay. Oh, wow.
And by the way, I have to show this because I believe we are going to see Mandy Sachs, Mandy Rose, whatever you're calling her these days. I think we might see her at All In. A little birdie told me she's on her way to London right now.
You guys just saved me a trip to Pornhub. Thank you.
Get out of here, Tom.
You're a filthy animal. I don't know how the hell.
Get out of here, Tom.
I do need to get out of here, actually.
You're fired.
Yep. Big Vito's going to be coming for him sooner rather than later.
He's fired, man. All In, though. We might see Mandy Sachs. We might see Mandy. I don't know. Collision coming up. Lady Frost is going to take on Stephanie, so we'll get another chance to look at her before she fights Mercedes Monet at Forbidden Door.
Cross, baby.
Daniel Garcia taking on the Butcher.
Another win for DJ.
Listen, I'm a fan of the Butcher. I actually like the Butcher. I think he's a great worker, has a solid look. He looks like a genuine badass. I don't know why they never made Butcher and Blade tag champions, especially considering AEW originals, right? Like, you want to build stars. So why haven't these guys had their fair due? At this point, we know they can work. Why wasn't their shit pushed to the moon with Bad Bunny or whatever she was calling herself? They had a great little team.
Dude, it would have been so good if they actually got a reign. But regardless, listen, I'm going to enjoy the Battle of Buffalo, that's for sure.
Battle of Buffalo.
Listen, more Daniel Garcia is better for me.
What do you think about this? AEW Champs Sports teams up to bring you a meet and greet. If you're in the New York area, Friday, June 28th from 12 to 3 at Times Square, you can meet these people here. And then, of course, if you want to meet Orange Cassidy on June 29th and Long Island at the Roosevelt Field Mall, you can meet Orange Cassidy and -1. So that's kind of cool. Match coming up on Ring of Honor that I have interest in because Mark Briscoe's just fun to watch. And, I love Kyle Fletcher lately. I want more Kyle Fletcher. He's been killing it right there.
Did you see that 2 out of 3 falls match with Lee Johnson?
I saw clips. I didn't see the whole match.
Dude, the whole match, got to go out and watch it. Not as good as their match at Supercard, but still fantastic. Kyle Fletcher, man, he is in the runnings for most underappreciated superstar of the year so far. And Lee Johnson, got to give respect to Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson has had his coming out party with his matches against Kyle Fletcher. And I'm looking forward to that match with Mark Briscoe.
Super talented. Right now on TNA, I'm watching it. Island Angels taking on Kushida. That match is about to go down. I'll pay close attention to this to break it down for you and give you the details. Ring of Honor coming up soon. Forbidden Door coming up again this Sunday, as I said. And let's start talking about Forbidden Door. Our first matchup here, you got Bryan Danielson taking on Shingo Takagi. Interesting matchup, but I think Bryan Danielson, from the statements he's made recently over the last few weeks, I can't see this guy losing another match anymore. I feel like he's at a point in his career in AEW now where he's done the job, he's done the favors. It's time for him to shine a little bit more. It's time for him to be that world champion, maybe. I don't think it's going to happen like right away, but it needs to happen. He needs to have that one world championship run.
I think he's going to the finals. He's not going to All In, not fighting for the world title, because there's another guy. However, I do believe that we could be getting a part 3 to either the match with Okada or a match with Sabre, either one of those two. Listen, if they want to make Bryan a champion, they could have him beat Okada for the Continental Championship. Wouldn't mind that. Or they could have him fight Zack Sabre Jr. and we get the rubber match there. But those two matches I can definitely see as potential fights for Bryan Danielson.
What do you think about Hunter Dillon saying that AEW is kind of slipping when it comes to pushing their homegrown talent, or at least some of them?
I mean, listen, there are a couple of homegrown talents that could be pushed more, but I mean, you take a look at the landscape of AEW right now, and they're pushing Will Ospreay. He's a homegrown guy, even though he just got there. Will Ospreay, he's not an ex-WWE guy. Okada's not an ex-WWE guy. They're pushing MJF. MJF is a fucking star. Darby Allin was made into a star. They're pushing Jack Perry. They're pushing a guy like Mark Briscoe right now. And they're pushing Daniel Garcia in these high-profile matches. Again, could some guys be pushed better? Sure. Everything could be better. But to say that they're slipping, no. They got a great nucleus of homegrown talent, and they're pushing them to the forefront. Dante Martin's in the ladder match. I mean, look at Top Flight. Dante Martin's had a lot of fucking opportunities.
We also have, obviously, the world champion, Swerve Strickland, taking on Will Ospreay. A lot of people are shocked that Will Ospreay got a title shot this quickly, because a lot of people have high hopes for Will. They think he's the next guy, the next champion, the next everything. Nobody saw it coming this soon. I'm at this point where I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I just need to see the matchup. The build up to it has been excellent. Very excited. What Will Ospreay did to Swerve last week made me want to watch this match. So I just can't wait to see it. I think whoever wins is going to come out on top anyway. That whoever wins, I don't think anybody loses in this match, because the match is going to be so good.
By the way, Do not put your hands on Swerve's world title because he'll fucking drop you just like he did to Ospreay last night.
That's true. The show did end with Will Ospreay laid out by Swerve Strickland, but of course they got to make the world champion look strong, and he did last night. We'll see if that's going to be the case this Sunday.
Swerve takes it, baby. Swerve's going to take it.
World Championship on the line. Kind of unfair that the International Championship not on the line, but everybody make sure you tune in. We'll tell you about this match next week. I can't wait to talk about it. We're going to see the results, obviously, and the fallout on Dynamite, exactly what's going to happen there. Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. I really feel like it's Zack Sabre Jr.'s time to shine right now. This is a win that could really make a stamp in his career and his trajectory in AEW. I think he needs this win way more than Orange Cassidy does. This could be a career-defining moment for the likes of Zack Sabre Jr. if he could put down Orange Cassidy. Even more importantly, what if he could make him tap out?
I'm going to throw out a bold prediction here. Zack Sabre Jr. beats Orange Cassidy. He wins the G1 Climax, and he fights the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion at Wrestle Kingdom and wins it. I think they're going all the way with Zack Sabre Jr.
Maybe they should, though. I love Zack Sabre Jr., bro. Guys really never had a bad match that I've witnessed on live TV. He takes advantage of every opportunity he gets, and this is probably the biggest opportunity he's had thus far in his AEW run. So he needs to take advantage of it. He needs to come home with a win. He needs to sell some T-shirts and some action figures, and beating a guy like Orange Cassidy will sure as hell do that.
That's the way to go, baby. Zack Sabre Jr., he's getting that win.
I think so. I think that's the right move. Now, you think in this match that Jon Moxley is taking the loss to Naito right now, but I got to update everybody right here. Kushida just made Island Angels tap out live on Impact. Kushida actually looks a little bigger than he did when he was in NXT. Looks like he put on some weight. And it looks like Jonathan Gresham is out here now attacking Kushida. As soon as he won his match, he was just celebrating. And now Gresham beating the shit out of him. We'll keep you posted on that. Back to the Forbidden Door predictions and exactly what DJ Storms thinks is going to happen in this big matchup for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm going to say Naito, man. I think that Moxley, he's done what he can with the championship, unless they really want to have Moxley continue his run in New Japan. Listen, I appreciate Jon Moxley. I think Jon Moxley is one of the best that we've had in the modern era and the first and only guy to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the AEW World Championship, and the WWE World Championship. History maker is Jon Moxley, but I do think Naito's walking out victorious here, and I think that Naito, he's going to be the guy that Zack Sabre Jr. is going to have to fight in order to take the championship and be the face of New Japan.
I'll say that about this match. I definitely think this is going to probably be the most physical match of the night. Moxley kind of demands that from his opponents as of late. Like the last couple of years I've seen him wrestle, he demands intensity. He demands hard hitting. So I expect there to be a lot of physicality in this. And I think Jon Moxley is one of the coolest characters in wrestling right now. And it's taken a long time for me to build that opinion of him because I used to hate Jon Moxley. I used to view him as the third member of the Shield, like the third best member of the Shield. But over the years of him putting in the work and continuous work and commitment to his character, his craft, and let's be honest, a lot of the matches, his moveset, his personality, his attitude, and eventually when someone is presented to you time and time again as a monster, someone that's presented to you in a fashion that he's just going to come out to the ring, he's going to kick someone's ass, and he's going to get a win. Jon Moxley in AEW, I mean, it's taken maybe 4 years, but I look at Jon Moxley as someone who's almost unstoppable in an AEW ring at this point. So it's hard for me to see him losing this matchup, losing that title because of how cool he is right now. He's got that leather jacket look. He comes out. He's the badass. He's known as that hardcore, doesn't give a fuck guy. Keeping that title on him is just that international presence that a company like AEW, who wants to get up there world renowned, known for having the best wrestlers in the world, having that title on Jon Moxley in Japan, which is such a place that loves and respects professional wrestling, it's a good look for AEW. So I wouldn't be in a rush to take that title off him. If anything, I'd say let's try to keep it on him for as long as we can so we have that presence in Japan that people in Japan are like, damn, AEW's for real. This guy's a beast.
I wouldn't mind it. And now, here's the thing. Here's the catch. If Moxley wins, he gets Naito's spot in the G1 Climax.
Okay. Very interesting.
That is a legit stipulation, so we're gonna have to wait and see.
So if Moxley wins,
Moxley
he's in the G1 Climax.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind.
Has he ever been in the G1 Climax? No, right?
Not to my knowledge.
Him winning the G1 Climax as IWGP champion would be a big deal, wouldn't it?
Very big deal. Very.
Now, one of the matches I'm more interested in than anything else, and that's because of the job AEW has done preparing us for this buffet for the eyes. That's what it is. This is a buffet for the eyes. You can't take your eyes off Toni Storm. You can't take your eyes off Mariah May, and you certainly ain't taking your eyes off Mina Shirakawa. This match is going to be good, and I think it's actually going to have a shocking result. We saw Mariah May take the bottle shot from Mina. I mean, you would think and assume that Mariah May is going to just stay with Toni Storm after what happened. But in this kind of abusive relationship, perhaps, maybe she feels like, damn, I betrayed Mina. I have to make it up to her. That's why she hit me, because I betrayed her. I have to make it up to her. And maybe she helps Mina overcome the odds. And think about this. Her beating Toni Storm, if anything, it definitely doesn't hurt Toni, especially if Mariah May screws her. But how big is it for Mina and the AEW women's roster if we immediately just say, you know what, she's a good wrestler, let's elevate her to Toni Storm's level so we can have these two main event women right now that can go back and forth for a little bit. With Mariah May, who, you know, she's playing her role right in the middle. She wants to be there too, but she's playing her role right now.
It's not going to happen, and I'll tell you why. We got this thing called the Women's Owen Hart Cup Tournament, and in the end, we will be seeing Mariah win the whole thing, and she's going to get her moment at Wembley against Toni Storm. That's how it's playing out. And Mariah May, she may very well beat Toni Storm. Unfortunately, listen, I love Mina 100% right. I love Mina just as much as you, but this is Toni's match.
No, I'm not going to argue with you at all, but I'm just saying this is a good opportunity. It's one of those times where Toni Storm's had a nice run right now, so if it ended, it wouldn't be the end of the world, and she would get it right back probably anyway. But this is a good opportunity to elevate Mina to another level if you want to really solidify her. But if that's not what you're trying to do, then yeah, Toni Storm's probably going to win the match. Now, I'll let you take the floor. Mercedes Moné taking on Stephanie Vacour. Do you think Mercedes retains, and do you think Stephanie gets signed full-time?
If they want to, I mean, I've seen what she can do. She's got a lot of intensity. She looks the part. She looks like a legit fucking killer. And if they want to, I think that they could put some heavy investment in her. I do think that Mercedes is walking out with both championships. That's the goal here. The goal here is to get some more exposure on the New Japan Strong Women's Championship and the TBS Championship. She's going to take those titles out to games, baseball games, basketball games, and the red carpet. And she's going to have great matches in and out of the ring. She's going to have great signings as well. And Stephanie Vacour, if they want to sign her full-time, I would absolutely be down for that. And like I said, keep your eye on this match and Toni's match. It's going to be interesting to see what these women do to one-up each other, because you know for a fact that these women are looking to go out there and they're going to try and see what they can do to have a better match than their opponents and have a better match than their own co-workers. And that's what makes the women's division right now special in AEW.
I am fond of the women's division there, and I think it has a lot of potential, especially with like Britt Baker coming back. Thunder Rosa, we'll get into that in a second. I have a story about her in the breaking news. We'll talk about that. But Mercedes Moné probably going to retain this title. Don't see her losing it to anybody right now. They put too much money and time in her. MJF taking on Hechicero, and obviously, come on, it's in his hometown. There's no way MJF's losing this match. But I could see Hechicero pushing MJF to his limit, and I could actually see this becoming a really good match.
I will say this. Listen, again, you know me. I'm fair. I criticize when I need to criticize. They could have done better in choosing MJF's opponent. I would have loved to have seen a match with him and Sonata from New Japan, because Sonata's a little bit bigger of a star. However, I think we're going to have a scenario like we had 2 years ago with Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay. I think that these guys, you give them time to kick off the show. I think these guys are going to shut a lot of people up. I think Hechicero is going to put on a very good performance against MJF, and MJF's going to get another win en route to him going after Will Ospreay at All In.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to give him someone that he could have a match with that it wouldn't affect anybody's, reputation in AEW. This ladder match, looking very forward to this. But I believe your winner is right there on the screen. I believe Takeshita needs this win so badly, but I have a feeling that they're going to give it to Jack Perry. I
can't disagree with you there. And listen, here's the thing. I love Jack Perry. Jack Perry's doing some great fucking work. But I said it once, I'll say it again. For anyone in AEW who's listening, Jack Perry is great, but he doesn't need the TNT Championship. Why? He already has his own spotlight. He literally just won the main event of Double or Nothing by pinning one of the greatest professional wrestlers ever in Bryan Danielson. He already has a spotlight on him because he's in the Elite, and he just won the main event of their first ever show on their 5-year anniversary, nonetheless. Konosuke Takeshita needs the championship more. Perry doesn't need any more spotlight on him. You don't want to take away something that you could put on a guy like Takeshita who's worked his fucking ass off to get to this point, and now he has the opportunity to finally get his just due. You don't want to fuck him over there. Unfortunately, I can see Jack Perry winning this, but I'm a Takeshita guy. I got Takeshita here.
I want Takeshita to win, but my gut is telling me they're going to give it to Jack Perry because of all the momentum. And I mean, they haven't really been doing much for Takeshita anyway. I just don't see why they would give this to him when they've been building Jack Perry to be such a stud, such a trendsetter, rule breaker, badass character. He kind of has to win in order to keep up that persona of being a badass. I pray I'm wrong. I want Takeshita to win and have some gold, put a smile on that man's face because he deserves it. He's been putting a smile on my face for years now. He's pound for pound, maybe the best wrestler AEW has. He's so goddamn good. I'll be upset if he doesn't win. I'll be honest with you.
Listen, I think the ladder match is going to be fucking crazy, though. I'll enjoy the fuck out of that.
Oh, absolutely. Without doubt.
You got Leo Rush in there, and I believe we're going to have El Phantasmo in there, too.
Yeah, we didn't do it earlier, but I'll play the little video, and then Storm's taking away with the breaking news for AEW.
Tony Khan still having great talks with Warner Brothers. I believe we're going to get the announcement in the coming weeks, and we will remain with AEW being on TBS and TNT. Stephanie Vacour, I am loving what Stephanie Vacour is doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she pulls up against Lady Frost on Saturday. Ricky Starks seemingly mocks alleged Canada arrest rumors. Kind of stupid, if you ask me. And then he wonders why Tony Khan's not using him. But listen, I think he would fit better in WWE anyway. Plus, they got a loaded roster. Jim Ross does not rule out WWE working with AEW. They should. There's room for both companies in the industry, and the war and the competition has not made either company better. Partnerships are the way to go. Back in the ER, listen, thoughts and prayers to Jim Ross. I hope that he gets back and he's commentating on AEW matches sooner rather than later. Thoughts and prayers go out to good old JR. Jinder Mahal tag teaming with Satnam Singh. Unbelievable. Hey, listen, if he's getting paid, having a fun time, go ahead. Britt Baker spotted in karate session. She will be back sooner rather than later, and my God, she looks fucking ripped. Cannot wait to have Britt Baker back. Huber family to donate all proceedings from Brody Lee's inspired Reebok shoes. I mean, Huber family, they're a class act. Rest in peace, Brody Lee. I'm glad that they're donating to charity. And a lot more people should follow in their footsteps and be selfless. Not happy about the tournament snub. I mean, I'm actually a little shocked that she was not in the tournament, to be quite honest with you. I would have put her in the tournament. And listen, If they want to make this into a storyline, they can make this into a storyline. I would have loved to have seen her in the Owen Hart Cup tournament as well. It is what it is. You can't really do too much about it now. Darby Allin cashing in on broken foot injury with new merchandise. Hey, listen, if it makes money, it makes money. Can't really shed on him for that.
We're watching TNA live right now. We're about to see this matchup take place. Nick Nemeth taking on Rich Swann. He's got AJ Francis out there with him, holding some of his gold. What do you think here? Who's taking this match? Rich Swann, obviously a very tenured competitor at this point, but not more experienced than Nick Nemeth. Who do you think comes out on top on this match?
Nick Nemeth, easily. Let's be honest here. Nick Nemeth, he's the next world champion. He's got it.
And you got to love how TNA is giving their main event about 20 minutes TV time. You know, I wish AEW and WWE would give some of their main events more time. It usually feels like it's always rushed down to 15 minutes, 12 minutes. Let these guys wrestle sometimes. My God.
I mean, listen, 15 minutes is a solid amount of time.
It's okay. It's okay. But we got to let everybody know. Every Tuesday night, Wrestling with Savage does the weekly update. If you missed it this week, Evil Kip was my special guest as we broke down WWE. Every Wednesday night, I bring you the AEW weekly update. And now, every Thursday night, we bring you the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show. And that's just going to be continuing, and it's going to get better and better and better and better every single week. You can support Wrestling with Savage. Go to my website, wrestlingwithsavage.com. Check out the events. Check out the merch. Also, check out the WrestlingUniverse.com if you want to see all the upcoming appearances from all the big stars. I recently was hanging out with Sabu, spotted my man Sabu on the corner there. I had to grab that picture. Sorry that you're next to the dumpster. I do apologize about that, Sabu. But we love you nonetheless. Hardcore legend. And, there's always. Look at this, Zack Sabre Jr. Speaking of that, I'm going to get to talk to this man this Saturday. I'm going to ask him about his match against Orange Cassidy. I'm going to give him a little pep talk live, a little Savage pep talk to make sure that he goes in the Forbidden Door completely prepared and ready to make some orange juice. Oh, yeah. That's a big signing for the universe. Zack Sabre doesn't really
I'm looking forward to Zack Sabre Jr. Listen, I'm not a technical wrestling guy, but I appreciate Zack Sabre Jr. I really do.
No, I'm saying it's like a rare signing. So if you have something for Zack to sign, this is a good opportunity for you to get that done. If you're in the tri-state area, come on down. El Phantasmo will be there. Gilbert will be there. Drew Gulak is going to be there. And again, you can go to the WrestlingUniverse.com to get the full list of all the signings. Buy tickets early, so when you get there, you're in and out. You don't have to wait online. You already have your tickets. You're ready to go. Sid Vicious, along with Doug Gilbert. If you don't know, that's a good friend of Sid Vicious. He won't do a signing without his boy, Doug Gilbert. So if you want to book Sid, you got to book Doug too. Just deal with it. Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff, going to be in the car with Savage, going to have breakfast with Savage, and I'm going to ask him the questions. So if anybody out there has a question you want me to ask Eric Bischoff, let me know in the chat, leave a comment, send me an email, wrestlingwithsavage@gmail.com. I will try my best to ask Eazy-E. Maybe you, Storms, have a question you want to ask Eazy-E.
You do not want to put me in the same room with Eazy-E. You don't.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I mean, you don't.
Why? What'd you do? Tell me about what happened with you and Eazy-E.
Oh, no, nothing happened. I just think he's a fucking idiot.
Okay.
Nothing happened. I just think he's a fucking idiot.
Then he kind of did his job. You can also meet Booker T. This is a big one right here. Vince Russo, Don Marie. Look at this. Nikki, the Bella Twins, now Brie and Nikki Garcia, if you want to meet them. Elijah, Elias. A lot of legends at the wrestling universe. In my opinion, the best wrestling store in the world. A personal signing of mine that I'm doing September 28th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And next week, we'll have a little video from DDP to let you all know about this signing and why you should come on down to meet the legend himself. Like I said, WrestlingUniverse.com. You can see all the upcoming signings. I'm going to pass it to my boy, DJ Storms. Maybe you have something that you want to promote. Well,
there's a lot of things I want to promote, actually. Well, first things first, you can follow me on social media at HistoryMakerDJS. One more time, at HistoryMakerDJS, both on X and Instagram. You can also add me on my personal Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. You can also subscribe to my YouTube. It's DJ Storms. You can't miss me. You got my logo right down there. You can also add me on Rumble. The logo right down there. You can't miss me. It's DJ Storms. And on top of that, be sure to like the official DJ Storms business page. I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all those links are in the description of the stream on Rumble and on my YouTube channel. Of course, you got the LFU. LFU is going down this Saturday at 1 p.m., the final LFU before Forbidden Door. We're going to talk about Dijak not re-signing with the WWE. We're going to talk about NXT superstars fearing that the brand is being picked dry, and they do have concern. They have concern that they're being called up without any plans. And then finally, Tony Khan says Shane McMahon is welcome to work with him in AEW. We're going to talk about what could possibly happen and why I don't think it's necessary for Shane McMahon to be in AEW. On top of that, we got the rewind for Forbidden Door coming to you guys on Monday, July 1st. We're going to kick off the month of July right with the rewind for Forbidden Door 2024 at 2 p.m. Eastern time on that day. I don't do a lot of Monday streams, but when I do, you know that I make Mondays a hell of a lot more enjoyable. That's for sure. And of course, got to get your merch. Get your DJ Storms wristbands, get your DJ Storms t-shirts, and get the greatest piece of fucking merchandise that you'll ever own, the DJ Storms Switchblade comb. And just like me, you can be good. You can be scrumptious, tasty, and just like everyone wants a piece of the Stormsmeister, everyone's going to want a piece of you. You already know the drill.
What's going on, C. Henry?
One more thing. Be sure, if you're watching on my YouTube channel, hit those super chats, hit those super stickers, hit those super thanks, and become a member of the channel, become a member of the posse, become a member of the Savage Kingdom, because we are taking over the entire IWC one stream at a time.
What's going on, C. Henry? We appreciate you stopping by, saying what's up. Make sure everybody here likes, shares, subscribes. Let everybody know about this podcast and what we do here on a Thursday night, which is unlike anything in the business. Now, Storms wants to talk on Saturday about some of those topics, but you mentioned them here. Now I want to talk about them. Shane McMahon to AEW. Definitely, I agree that it's not needed, unnecessary, and I think people would probably be genuinely confused. But, however, it would probably be good for ratings. I'll say that. If that happened, you would certainly see some of those McMahon loyals come on over to Wednesday nights. So it wouldn't be bad for business. Definitely not necessary, but it certainly wouldn't be bad for business.
From a business side, I do agree with you. I don't think we need to worry about the ratings because the ratings don't matter. Pretty soon, AEW Dynamite's going to be on a streaming service. I mean, look at Monday Night Raw. Longest running weekly episodic TV show in history. It's not going to be on TV anymore.
Well, Storms, you can't say that ratings don't matter, though, when the simple fact is this. When a show gets bad ratings, it gets canceled, off the air type of things. It loses contracts.
You know why it doesn't matter? It doesn't
Same
matter.
thing for Netflix. I'll say one thing. If a show on Netflix, you ever seen a show on Netflix that you loved season 1, and then you're waiting for season 2, but it never comes out because you were the only one that loved it?
Dude, let me tell you something right now. The WWE, they got so many business negotiators back there in Titan Tower to a point where it doesn't matter who watches and who doesn't. They're going to get paid just for showing up. That's the thing. If ratings and ticket sales actually mattered, WWE would have been out of business years ago because the ratings have decreased for WWE as well. And WWE was operating in half-empty arenas back during 2018 and 2019. Tickets and ratings, they don't matter like they used to. You know where all this money's coming from? The big sponsorships, the fact that they got the Saudi deal, and then on AEW's side of the fence, I mean, Tony Khan has enough money to buy WWE.
Listen, I get you saying that, but from any conversation I've ever had with a higher up from WWE, making money, selling tickets, and having ratings is always a priority. Whether it's felt like that amongst the fans, it's definitely felt like that amongst the boardroom. And until that culture changes, they are going to be important. But I agree with you that it's diminishing Because there's just so many different ways. There's people that don't even watch Raw anymore. They literally get all their updates from YouTube. There's people that don't watch WWE Network because they know the next day on YouTube, WWE is going to have clips of every match.
WWE is making money from YouTube too.
100 billion%. Yeah, they're making a bulk of their money from YouTube right now with 102 million subscribers. How are you not going to make money? And AEW knows this, which is why they're right on that train trying to get their YouTube channel to the same platform, which it will take some time, but I think it's within 10 years they might have 50 million, maybe. Could happen. But they have a lot of work ahead of them because it's a brand new company. And if anybody can do it, AEW can already show that they're a main event player. They're in big time markets. They're on TV. They definitely need to get their own streaming service for their pay-per-views and to have their library. Things like that will help.
Two things that I always say about AEW, and I've been saying these for months. Structure and marketing, man. Structure and marketing. That's what WWE has. That's why they're selling out.
Despicable actions here from AJ Francis. He just hit Nick Nemeth in the head with a beer can that not only he opened and took a sip out of, but, that's disgusting. All right. AJ Francis should be ashamed of himself. And now even more, now right hand, but the ref caught him this time, and it looks like the referee is about to eject AJ Francis. And finally, maybe this match will be a fair one-on-one. And I don't think that this guy, Rich Swann, has a chance anymore. If it's a fair one-on-one, Rich Swann's about to meet Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth, and he's about to get his ass kicked. But of course, we're going to a commercial break again. I can't wait till Netflix.
Yeah, right.
Do you think we're going to get commercials on Netflix or limited, or how do you think that's going to work?
I actually hope that we don't get as many commercials. I think they're going to be more limited. I think that it's not going to be like 3 minutes of commercial. I think it'll be probably maybe 30 to 45 seconds, which is a lot easier to digest. And it's a great thing that they're not going to be censored. They could be a little bit more edgier on there. But listen, as long as they focus on being a pro wrestling company, like I fucking hate what Triple H said, how WWE is not a sport, it's a movie about a sport. I mean, it's fucking terrible. It's disrespectful to pro wrestling right there, because pro wrestling is a sport and it should be treated as such. I wish WWE would take more of a sports-oriented type of product and focus on putting pro wrestling first. But I do believe that with less restrictions on Netflix, we're going to get a better WWE product.
Yeah, but the reason he's saying that is because the business has come such a far way. Times change, people change, things change, policies change, politics change, religion changes. Think about the story of the Bible. It's changed thousands of times over the last thousands of years.
But it doesn't
right?
feel like wrestling's changed. Like where's the evolution?
Listen,
why can't we move?
I'm trying to explain it. I'm trying to explain it to you. What's changed in the world of professional wrestling is not the wrestling itself. The wrestling is always going to be the same. The moves are going to be the same. What has changed is the star power. The star power. These guys are such big stars now. You have guys from Hollywood, guys from all over the place that want to get involved, that want to work with them, want to do commercials, want to bring them in as actors on movies. It's transcended the business. And with a lot of these matches as of late, especially with WrestleMania and Undertaker, like that AJ Styles match, they do take a Hollywood approach to a lot of the way they film everything. Now, the matches are the only thing that they can't say cut, take two. You know what I mean? The matches are like, it's live. There is no like take two. But with everything else they do in the back, the vignettes, the storytelling, they can take their time with it, and they do. And that's why he says it's like the movies, because backstage, that place is just like a Hollywood parking lot. There's makeup, there's stuntmen, there's cameramen, there's producers, there's writers. It has that Hollywood feel. I think that's the only reason why Triple H is saying those words, is because he's been in it so long now, Storms. Even himself, he has just adapted. Everybody can either adapt to their environment and thrive, or they just die. Triple H is one of those guys that has continuously adapted to his environment. From the time he married Stephanie to the time he first started getting into the corporation aspect of the company, side by side by Vince McMahon, learning from quite possibly the most influential man in the history of the business. Whether you love him or hate him, You can't really argue that fact. Triple H learning from him and then watching the actual change of the business through multiple eras, the early 90s, the late 90s, the ruthless aggression era, the PG era, and now full circle, that whole ball is now in his hands. And he's done what he's had to do to survive all these years, come out on top where he is now, which is the main man making decisions in WWE.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you on the count that Triple H has evolved, but it just doesn't feel like WWE is evolving. It feels like WWE is actually going backwards because they're still focusing on soap opera drama and they're not focusing on putting pro wrestling first. Listen, I'm never going to shy away from that. Like, the evolution of pro wrestling should be pro wrestling first. And the fact that they haven't done that, it's disappointing.
You're not wrong. Mick Thomason, here's your damn video. All right, but now, Mick, you have a new job. You have to make a new video because this here is the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show. So you need to make a new video hyping that up that we can play here on Thursday nights because it's not fair to Storms that we just keep letting you say Wrestling with Savage. That's not cool. You should hear about
He turned heel on me, dude. He turned heel on me.
Arrival 2, Friday, August 23rd, live from the Mecca in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Kenta arrives.
Kenta, baby.
Jackson arrives. Slamovich and Jordan Oliver arrive. It's going to be an absolute sick night of professional wrestling. And who knows? You might just see a Savage there. So, buy a ticket now. Get ready for Arrival 2. The first show killed. You saw me and Spencer Slade make our debut and absolutely embarrass Joseph Keys. By the way, Joseph's having a great run right now all over the country. But still, no match for Spencer Slade. But you know that.
Spencer Slade, he could very well be the #1 pro wrestler in the tri-state area by the end of the year.
Might be the #1 wrestler in the world by the end of the year if we have it our way. He's got a lot going on, especially with NWA. He just signed a big contract with NWA, very lucrative. He's getting wins all over the place, and I think he has his eyes on EC3 at this point.
Looks like we could get a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion soon.
Yes, I see that in his cards. Next week, we have another Road to Slammiversary qualifier. Jake, what's his name? Jake something? Is that really
Jake
a real
something.
name?
That's his name, something.
He loves that, Jake something? How long has he been Jake something?
For years now. For years.
I'm really not familiar with Jake something. I'm really not. But he's taking on Joe Hendry, so I think he's going to take a loss. I'm not sure. But we are watching TNA tonight. Mustafa Ali came out. Mike Bailey came out. I can't wait for that matchup. Kushida beat Alan Angel. Slamovich beat Zaya Brookside. The ABC won their matchup. And then look at this big-time match. We still have 4 more spots. But the TNA World Championship is going to be on the line in a 6-way elimination match. So far, it's Josh Alexander and Moose. That's taking place Saturday, July 20th from Montreal, Quebec. Live from the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 2300 Arena this Friday, TNA. So tomorrow, if you're in the area, you can watch Jordan Grace, Eddie, and Alicia Edwards, Matt and Rebecca Hardy. Big time matchup there. Matt, Jeff Hardy taking on Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. And there's also meet and greets too. So Friday, June 28th, you can go down there. You can meet Mustafa Ali, Jordan Grace, Mike Santana, Joe Hendry. And you can also meet the Hardy Boys, Alicia Edwards, Masha Slamovich. And also this, I believe this Sunday, you can meet Brian Myers and Moose. Undiscovered Realm Comic-Con. And TNA just signed Sinner and Saints. You familiar with these boys?
I am not. Please elaborate.
I have no idea. I've never heard of them, but I know they just signed, so I'm going to keep a lookout for them and hopefully catch a couple of their matches. Rich Swan over here with a roundhouse kick, knocking out Nick Nemeth. We'll see if that's enough. Here's a couple of shots of the action from last week. Did you end up seeing any of these clips on social media?
I saw a couple, and I can't really say that I'm in support of that date between PCO and Steph DeLander. I can't. I'm sorry.
Why are you hating on my boy PCO?
Listen, I appreciate PCO, but that was horrible. I'm sorry. I got to be honest with you.
I thought it was hot.
And of course you did.
I didn't like AJ Francis interfering again. Another guy. He's like Toto with Tom, just always not able to mind his business.
Toto with Tom, if you're still watching, you're not exactly in good graces with everybody over here at the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show. Well, except me. He hasn't really done anything to me. Not yet, at least.
Tom's okay. I can tolerate Tom. Unless he opens his mouth, then I have to stop his hat.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much.
Listen, I didn't like Steph DeLander going through the table.
Matt Cardona didn't like that either.
Probably not. No, probably not. Ash by Elegance. What'd you think about her attacking the Knockouts champion over there?
I mean, it was pretty much expected. They've been in a program. I just hope Jordan Grace absolutely breaks her in half.
Probably gonna happen. Man. Joe Hendry, though, I have a feeling that he's going to be signed very soon to WWE. I see it happening for him.
Really?
Yeah. His numbers, he's killing it right now. His numbers on YouTube are insane, bro.
Who,
insane.
Joe Hendry?
Yeah, he's getting bigger numbers.
Dude, I literally posted a short. Yeah, absolutely. Joe Hendry will be signed by WWE.
Yeah, he's getting bigger numbers. By the way, Nick Nemeth picks up the win against Rich Swann, so now we know he's also in that match at Slammiversary. So congratulations to him. Can he get his world championship here, or did they forget about Nick Nemeth?
He's going to be getting it.
You think so?
He's got it.
Okay. You heard it here first. Nick Nemeth, your next TNA champion, perhaps, at Slammiversary? Could happen. This is the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show, episode number 4. We're going to wrap it up right now. I am Savage. Make sure you're not average. That's DJ Storms, the self-proclaimed leader of the IWC. And he might just very well be when we're said and done here on Thursday nights. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves an incredible week and enjoy the summer. We're out of here.
Yes, let me feel it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, project you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. Smackdown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.